Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial we're going to make a REST API with Django REST framework. As you know, Django REST framework is a powerful and flexible toolkit for web APIs. So for creating a REST API by Django REST framework, we can access to these APIs and we can create, delete, update this API. So we just need two APIs, API views. So we can create this one and we can update or delete this one. If we're going to delete this one or update this one, just add the ID of this API. For example, ID 2. We have got this API. We can update this one and copy and right here paste and bring change in its description. For example, writing book or code book. And number of quantity you can bring change, and you can change its quantity, and number of page you can change its number of page, and click quotes. So you can change it to code box, and we can delete this one as well. So we can receive this message, or we should one, or you want to delete this book or no. If you are going to delete, you can click on delete. If you are going to do not delete this, and you can hit here on cancel. So if you're creating a book list API, we can paste right here. For example, we are going to make a new API right here. I've got this writing book number 1 and number 2, number of page. You can select this number of page, this number of page, and you can select its quantity. For example, 250 and hit click. I've got this ID numbers 7. So I've got this API. If we click right here, if we're going to see the list of this API, you can see this list of API we have created inside our application. So for creating this REST API with Django REST framework, at the first we should install Django. So we can click cmd. So right here we can make a directory mkdir. So mkdir API document. For example, API book or document. This directory should jump inside this API document. So at the first we should make a virtual environment. For creating and installing this virtual environment, we can write down python-m, and then we can write down VNV virtual environment. Inside this VNV directory, we can install this virtual environment, because this virtual environment just manage and control all the data and APIs inside one directory, and we can save and store all our information and data inside this virtual environment. For this reason, we can install this virtual environment, and we can see its scripts and library as well inside this one directory. So we'll talk about this one, this virtual environment. So we should jump this with VNV. Of course, we have created this VNV directory virtual environment. So for so should come back to the new directory. Inside the API document, we should install Django. For installing Django, you can write and pip install Django and hit enter. This Django file will be installed at the few times inside our project. At the first, we should install Django REST framework inside our directory. We can write and pip install Django REST framework. Hit enter. This Django REST framework will be installed inside our directory. So this one successfully installed. So we should make a project. for creating a project inside our directory, the first we can write on Django-admin. So start project. So we're gonna to create a library. So we can write down just a library, such this one. So we have created this Django project. If we are going to see this project, you can enter this cd or change directory, and then write down the name of the project by the library. You can see this library. So right now we should open this library with a code editor. Can write down code and dot. So this project will be opened by VS Code editor right here. I've got this library right here inside this, and we can open this one. So we should come back to this command prompt. Should come back to the main directory button document. Right now we can open this one by this VS Code editor, because we have got a virtual environment, and we can activate this virtual environment inside the terminal. So have a look right here. We have got this project, Django project, and VNV virtual environment. You can see this include and this lives and this script. So if we're going to activate this virtual environment, should jump right here, cd VNV. Inside at the first we can write down VNV or source, and then script or lab, and then activate. You can activate this virtual environment. Hit enter. This virtual environment will be activated. So should come back to the main directory. Enter. So right now we should run this program. This is a project. We can write down cd and library. First we should jump to inside the library directory. So we can write down python manage.py run server. So we have got this URL, so you can copy this port, come back to right here. So you can paste this URL right here at the first, because we have got this URL activator right here inside the. So should come back because we got this one. So we should change this port to another URLs, manage.py run server. So we can select the ports as 4040. You can copy this one, come back right here. So this is the basic Django project. You can see this one right here. So we should come back to this project. At the first we should make a new application. So for creating a new application inside the library, so right here should break this one. So we can write down python manage.py start app. So we're going to make a new API, new application. So for new application API, can create a new API or lab API. For example, lab hyphen API. So this is a new application by the name lab API or library or API. So we've got these files, admins, apps, and models, test views, and at the first we should create a new URLs and new URLs can write down urls.py. This is Python file. So we need to another file, the Django file by the name of serializer.py. So we should jump inside this views.py right here. Right now we're going to make a book list. Create a new book list. For creating a book list inside the views, so at the first we can define this book. So this book list such this one, and we can request this one by this parameter. So at the first we have got this object by the name box. We're going to make a box library or box model. So this box is equal to box dot object such this one, all objects. So and then we have got a Python box. So for creating a Python box, we can write down box Python such this one. This one is equal to the list of book. So we can add this and supply this data inside this for box dot one is such this one. So after that we can receive this message. We can return to JSON response. So for this one we've got, we can write down return to JSON response. So and we can receive this message box Python. So we can add this book object. So this one is book Python. So if we're going to do not return to the JSON response, and we can comment this one, and we can return directly to response or serializer data. So at this time we should make a serializer file. So we should make this file. At the first we've got the serializer. Serializer is equal to box serializer. We're going to make a box serializer. So we can supply this box object as many times. Example true. So after that we can return to response the serializer data. Look right here. So we've got this serializer, this box serializer. So we can import the serializer. So we've got the serializer and the book object right here. Should come back inside that serializer. At the first, inside the serializer file, we should make a serializer class inside this serializer file. So we can make this book serializer. So at the first, come down right here. I've got this class book serializer. So we've got this serializer. We can inherit this serializer. At the first, we can write down serializer dot capital S serializers. So after that we can add this logic such as the ID, title, number of page, and publish date. So for this time we can pass this one. So because we have got the box serializer right here inside the views.py, we can import this this box serializer. So we've got this box serializer, so we can write down from this application dot API dot serializer we can import book serializer. This book serializer, we have got this one. We can define this one because from this serializer file, from inside this application by the lab API, we can import this book serializer. We have got this book serializer right here. So we have got this book object right here as well. So we should define this book right here as well. So we can do it from lab API dot models. We can import book. So should jump inside the models file right here inside this model. At the first, we should make a model for our project. So at the first, we can write down class model, class book. So we can write down models dot model. So for this one, we can pass this one. So we should come back this serializer right here inside the views.py right here. So we have got this object as book list. So we can decorate this one. So for decoration of this API, we can add this API, add API view. So we can add this method by the name of get. So I've got this get method right here. We can decorate this one inside this views file. So we have got the second method by the name of post at this time, because we have got this serializer object right here. This one is equal to book serializer, and we can supply this books and this one. So after that we can return to this serializer data, because we have got this serializer right here. So we will talk about this serializer. So inside the views.py right here, we can create the second object by the name of book create. We're going to make a book create object. So we can write an add. So we can define this one, book create. So we can request this one. So with this parameter, the first we have got this serializer, book serializer. We can copy this book serializer because we have got this object right here, right? So serializer is equal to book serializer. So right here we have got this data. We can supply this data. This data is equal to serializer or request data. We can request this data as well. So and then we can add this function. If serializer is valid, so we can save this serializer data. Can write down serializer dot save, and we can return to response or serializer data. Can return to and this serializer data will respond to our message. We can return to this serializer data, such this one. So If this serializer data is not valid or not correct, we can write an else and return so we can return to response serializer errors. So we can receive this error message. So after that, this status is equal to status dot http this 400 bad request, this message, this error message, such this one. This one is for create a book. So we can decorate this one. We can write an at API view. We can add this method by the name of post method, because we can receive this error message. We can post that in a new API. For creating a new API, we can receive the success message or error message, such this one. We have got this logic ID is equal to serializer. So this serializer, we have got this serializer file right here, a Python file, integer field, and we can write on read only is true. The first logic. The second one, we've got this title. This title is equal to integer serializer, serializer dot character field, for char field or character field. So you can select make such as like a widget inside the form class. We are going to make these models such as a widget. So we'll talk about this one in the next. So for the number of page, we have got the number of page. Number of page is equal to serializer dot integer field. Serializer date field and quantity. The quantity of each API, we can create this field as the integer field. So we've got this logic, the title, ID, number of page, published date, and quantity. So we've got this serializer, and we should define this one. Then we've got this one object, and the second one we've got this book serializer. So we can import from this framework this serializer, and the second one we've got the book object right here, because right here we have got this book object. So we'll talk about this one because from library the API is the application dot models. Inside the models we have got this one. So we can pass and we can add this title, number of page, and published date and quantity. So we can define this string. So at the first we have got this title. This one similar to the serialization. It's the serializer file. Take a look right here. Inside the serializers we have got ID. This ID is serializer dot integer field. Inside the model we've got this title as well. This title is the title of each API. Is inside the model file we have got this character field. So this character field, the max length is this pixel. It's number of page, models on integer field, and published date and quantity. It's similar to the serializer, just change its model and its class. So right here I've got this one. So inside the views.py right here we can add these methods. So scroll down right here. So we have got these views. At the first we should make a book. We should define this book and create a book list, and you can update, delete, and put and post this object. So we can define this book. We can write on book. So and then we can request this by this parameter. So we can request this one by primary key pk. So we can define this one. So at the first we should try this one. If this book is equal to box object, so we can write down book is equal to box dot object dot. We can get the this primary key. We can add to this primary key is equal to primary key. So and except we can return to response this error message. So this one we can return to response. We can response and receive this message. So error message. We can receive this error message. Book does not exist. So this status, we can add this status. This status is equal to status dot http underscore 404 message, and we can receive this message. This book or this epoch is not exist inside this epoch, or this epoch cannot found inside this application. Can receive this message such this one. So at this time we should decorate this one at API view. So at the first we have got this method. First one and get. The second one we have got this port method, and the last one is delete method. So right here we should define the first method by the name of get method. So if we request this method is equal to get. So at this time we can request this method. So this object book is equal to dot book object and get this primary key and supply this primary key. Primary key is equal to primary key. So and we can add this serializer. This serializer is equal to book serializer. So I've got this box serializer right here inside the box serializer. And copy and paste right here. So we can supply this object as book object. So after that, this serializer. So we can return this serializer data. After saving this data, after making this request, this get the request, we can return to serializer data. So for this, I can write down return response serializer data. So we've got the serializer. We've got the second method by the name of port. So I've got this method. If request dot method is equal to port request port method. So this serializer, I've got serializer right here, and copy this one, paste right here. So this serializer is equal to box serializer because we have got this box serializer inside the serializer file right here. So at this time we can supply this one, this object by the name of book, and data is equal to request data, such this one. So and we have got this function. This says if serializer is valid, so we can save this serializer response serializer data. So and then we can return to this response. So instruction says if this serializer data is valid, we can save this data serializer and we can return to this serializer data inside the database. So if this one is not valid and this data is not correct, we can return to and we can receive this message, error message. Receive this message. So we have got this one, and this is status. We should define this status as well. And we have got this API view, this decoration file, this decoration and we have got this decorator API right here as well. Should define right here. So I've got, and from rest from work as well, rest from work, we can import status. So we've got the response right here. This JSON response. So we should define this one as well. So right here we can open from rest from work dot response. We can import response. So we have got this booked object. So we should come back to inside the serializer. We should define this one. We have got this object by the name of define create. Should define this create, and then define create. We are going to create a new API. So for this one we should request this one. We can inherit this one self data. So, and then we can return to book objects create booked object. So we can supply this store data, and we can define the update API. If we're going to update this API, we can define this one inside this serializer file. So for define this one, this update, we can write and define update. So we can inherit this self and instance data. So we can define this one. This large. The first one, I've got instance.title, instance number of page, instance published date, instance quantity, and we can save this instance right here. After saving this data inside this database, we can return to this instance. We've got this instance such as title of this API, number of page of this API, published date of the API, quantity, and save this API. After saving this API, we can return to this instance object. So we've got this one, and inside the views that we buy. After saving this one, we have got the last method by the name of if request dot method equal to delete method. We've got this delete method. So we can delete this API, book API, library API. It's up to what kinds of API you are going to create for your application, inside your application. So you can write down the object by the name of book API. So you can write down book delete. So after deleting this API, we can receive a message or success message. So we're going to return to JSON response. For this one, we can add this message content. Such this, we can receive this new content. So these are the methods of this API and declaration of this API. So we should come back to the URLs and here the first we should register this one inside the setting file. We've got inside our project, because we've got project by the name of library. Setting file right here, come down inside the application. At the first we should write down REST framework, and then we can register our application by the name of lab underscore API. So just close this one, come back to this URLs right here. We can include and wire up our application inside our project. So for this one we can write down part. So at the first inside the string, this inside this right here we can add this objects for the books API. So and then we can include this we can include So I've got this application by the name of lab underscore API.urls. So we should include this one as well. So inside the URLs right here, you can copy this URLs from here. This I've created this API book create and book list. So from lib API.views, so I've got the views file. This is a book list, book create and book object right here inside this one. So this we can import this book list, book create and book. So you can see this URLs right here. So this one, views.ui and models. So if we refresh the page, we can write on Python manage.py and so you can select your port, for example, server is and hit enter. Got this we have got this decorator, not decorator A, and we can fix this mistake. So I've got these models right here and URL. We should put a comma right here, so we can refresh the page. So right here I've got this. This is where we can set this bad request, because we do not allow to create API, because admin user can create API and can make a book API inside the browser. So if we write out the list or the member ID, we can receive this error message. So it says no such table lab API book. So we should come back right here. If we post this API, we can receive this error message, because we do not have any permission to create a API right here. So should come back right here inside this admin user right here. So we can register this one, admin register book. We have got this book object over, and we have got this class model, book model admin, and we have got this list, this list. This list consists of this title, number of page, publish date, and quantity. So we should define this book object. We can import from API dot model import book object. So we should make a user account, super user. For creating a super user, you should jump to inside the terminal. Right here we can make a user and Python manage.py. So create super user, such this one. So no such table. So at the first we should make a jump to inside this directory, because are now inside this directory. So we can write down cd library, so Python manage.py. We should make a migration file. So for this one we can write down Python manage.py, make migrations. So right here should make a user super. You should create a super user. So for creating a super user, right here we can write down python manager.py create super user. So at the first we should make a migration file. So because we have got this model object right here inside this, we should make a migration. So for this one, I can write down python manager.py make a migration. So we should execute this migration file. So we can write down python manage.migrate. Hit enter. So look at right here inside the migration directory we have got this migration file by the book. So at this time we should make a we should create a super user. For creating a super user we can write down python manage.py create super user. So we should select the username. For this username we can write down library, for example library 2 the username. So we can add our email address and write down library at gmail.com. Hit enter. So we should make a password for this user. We can add our user or password. So we can write down should repeat this one. Yes, okay, no problem. Similarity of this user and password. So we can refresh the page. Python manage.py run server. So we can copy this port. This user admin, we have got this library 1 or 2. So we can enter a password. So have a look, we have got this web API. So we have got this object, model object. We can add this one. For example, we have got the title of this code. So number of page, this one. So date and select to read it, and quantity can add the quantity of this one and save this. We have got this code to API inside right here. So if we come back to this box list, I've got this box. So if we're going to make an API, so for creating an API, you can click right here, create API. Create this API, search this one by ID of number 1, total of this HTML book, publish this date and quantity of this one, this. So we can copy this one, we can push this API. So this field is required number of page. So we should come back right here, number of page should add this one because it says number pages. So have a look right here. I've created this APIs. You can see inside the book list. Number 1, this is the ID. Number 2 is the API. Number 3 is ID, title, book, and the second one and the last one code design, number of pages, one publish details, date, and quantity. So you can create your own API. For example, this ID. You can delete this one. You can select this title, for example, coding, and paste right here. We have created this API ID number 6. So if we come back right there in the side of the book list, right on the list, because we have got this list inside the views.py. Book list, we have got this book list inside right here. Inside the views.py, we have got this book list 5 right here. So we can receive this message because we have not this API as ID number. For example, if we have this ID 2, we can see this API ID number 2, title of this code books, and number of page this one. If we are going to update this one, we can update this one because we have got this update file inside the serializer file. So we can update this one, and we can change its titles to another title. By code can change its page, number of page, and quantity. Then this one we have to change it. So we have to updated this one to this details. So if we are going to delete this one, click on the delete button. You can see this message, or you want to delete this book or no. So if you want to delete, so you can click on delete. So you can click on the book as well. If you want to update, delete, or create a new API, you can click on book. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.